So
What I gotta ask because I kind of want to shift now to economic theory. I I despise capital. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? But I listen to you, and it's like you don't.
I studied economics, so
Yeah.
I'll give my side why I believe capitalism works.
Yes, that's what I wanted to see because it's like you've built this amazing sense of community
Yes.
where it's so inviting, it's so welcoming. Like when people utilize space for shows, like do you charge them for that? Like how does that work?
Great question, and I'm willing, and I actually implemented this in our new website for the events
Okay.
because I realized these are hungry artists that they're working and doing their art, which is
Uh-huh.
very difficult,
100%.
right? And they might not have the funds to be able to pay for their show or their marketing, or they already got so much to pay for, and to succeed you have to have that, right?
Yeah.
But I realized this is the key because it's all about partnerships and collaborations. Because if I throw a show, 100 people come, I realize I shouldn't be charging them. They're bringing the people. The art is bringing the people. That's why I always knew. That's why I didn't charge them. And I was like, we're actually partners. You bring by bringing the people, they're naturally gonna eat. They're naturally gonna eat, drink, or get drinks, eat, and now it's a vibe.
I knew, bro. I knew that was gonna be your answer, bro. That shit is that's incredible.
But my dream, real dream, is capitalism. So our second year, yeah, this was our second location. Our first location, we started out off of Lark Street on Madison Avenue, and that one was great. But the working with landlords, figuring that out and stuff is like a learning process. And I have this big vision now, and it couldn't work without capitalism. But it's a very non-cap. I want to create a kitchen that's actually free for everybody. Anybody that comes in, it's free, and the community actually funds it. So the funders are actually paying for it, but because the community is paying for it, it's a community kitchen. You don't have to charge anybody that comes in gets to eat for free, and because it actually came from talking with these guys because they were like, man, I have all these issues. And I was like talking to them, what are you eating on your daily basis? Are you drinking enough water? And he was like, to be honest, no, not really. And the food that I eat is not healthy. And I'm like, just like an engine, you need proper nutrition to like function well. And when I was saying that, he was like, bro, like I ain't got it like that. And it's true. Like when you're struggling, it's hard to eat healthy.
Oh,
And so it's this
100%,
cycle.
bro.
It's this dangerous cycle that I recognize, and food plays a huge role in it. And I recognize the role that I can have in it. And so this is the vision. But it wouldn't, for somebody to do something so, because it's like a selfless thing, right? For me to say it sounds like not humble or whatever, but to do these things for charity, philanthropy and stuff, you need capital. And for the philanthropy and stuff that actually happens are the people that did extremely well in capitalism that's able to now fund these projects. So sometimes we don't see these people that are funding these kinds of things that want to give back. And then we are bombarded with the people that are like so business, like the profits that we don't see it, that it was actually the people that did extremely well that are now the philanthropy is coming back. And so, and why I was saying that I'm a strong believer in capitalism, because the economic theories, there's two foundational economic theories. It's the Milton Friedman style, which is believing the market. Like, let the market decide. It will exist if the market wants it. And if the market doesn't want it, it's the invisible hand, they call it, right? It's this force that naturally happens. What's supposed to be there is going to happen because the people want it. And
It's business supply and demand.
yeah, right.
At the end of the day.
And that's a very capitalistic approach, because the opposite is Keynesian, which is very government pushed. Like everything is regulated. It's regulated, and the real strong beliefs are that they believe that people aren't smart enough to make their own decisions. While the capitalistic view is actually, hey, everybody is smart enough to make their own decisions. That's why naturally everything that's supposed to exist is going to exist. So it's this balance, just like everything. You need both. You actually need both. Like, so when it's too strong this way, we're actually agreeing on very similar things, but I don't even want to go into conspiracy or any of this because I think it's just, but it's just the same playbook in the civilization throughout history, forever. Divide and conquer.
So
It's always divide and conquer.
Most
Right.
people fail to realize
It's actually all this.
There's a gray area
Yup.
right in the middle.
But they
bro,
make you
that
think
most
it's this
people
too.
subside into.
Yes.
And it's the fact that you're not going to change their minds. People are adamant on how they feel and how they believe and all that and whatnot. But at the end of the day, there's a gray area, and people need to realize that there's pros and cons on the same side of the coin. Capitalism is a coin. There's heads, there's tails. Some people believe this, some people believe that. But it's in the middle of that coin where people don't live, bro. And people need to understand
Yeah,
that both
but
sides of the
I think
coin.
what is important is traveling and just expanding your horizons, because
Yes.
if a lot of Americans actually went to a place like Russia and saw like how controlled like the government is, I think
What's up?
it would help you understand like what the world is like other places. Because if you go to places like, to have the law in the US, when you go somewhere that has like no structure in their legal protections for anybody can just come over and just like
Nah, real
take
shit.
you out. You
Real shit.
realize how amazing America actually is, and the vision that it took for these philanthropists. Actually, the founding fathers, are a lot of them. Yeah, I'm not saying everything they do like yeah, a lot of them had slaves and. Yeah, we're not looking at all, like, they're people too, right? And they're living at their time, and it's completely different. But a lot of these guys were people that were very successful in what they did. And then they grouped together and thought of the vision of how can we make a greater society. So that really, to me, is the American vision, the American dream. Like, if you're able to think it, you're
Take
able
your
to
thoughts and put it
make
into
it
action.
real. So that's very inspirational to me, and my family. I'm a 1.5 generation, which means that I grew up in the U.S., but I was born in Korea, and it's so powerful. And I think we don't, and we talk about racism a lot in the U.S. But we're really the least racist country. You go anywhere else, we talk about the most, but we're actually the least. You go to Asia, all these places, trust me, racism is very still alive and very apparent, and they're open about it.
It's the whole thing of people not stepping in each other's shoes and realizing what other people go through. You can go anywhere and people take America for granted. A lot of people do. A lot of people.
The standards of living here are the best in terms
Go
of
to
like
go to a
running water,
dictatorship and see how that shit
stores,
goes.
like having a Walmart, bro. Like the convenience of what we have with Walmart.
A spot
You
can
try
get
to
anything at.
get stuff in certain countries, you can't. And the selection we have, we're like so spoiled here, honestly.
No,
We're
that's
not
what
real-
I'm saying.
but
America
but
takes
but
that shit
capitalism
for
does
granted.
make it competitive, so that a lot of people are struggling. Yes.
Yeah, the corporate might make the money and shit, but at the end
Yeah.
of the day,
But we're
it's-
moving from like, we're getting like controlled by corporations, which is not the move, you know. Yeah,
We might have
that's
lost the
what
battle,
I
but
would
we're not
say.
losing. We're not losing that war.
It's not true capitalism. Yeah, because the governments are now favoring big corporations to help them, so it's a rigged. Just like how government intervention for the Keynesian like economics, it's the same thing. But you're helping now, and so it's an unfair market. It's not a fair market now because the government is helping corporations.
I will say that they is giving favor to the rich people. I will say that to the corporate. to the
In
corporate.
some aspect, it makes sense because these people are doing these things that help the society grow. They're putting
No, I
their
get
money
that.
into
I
making
do.
things. But yeah, there's always abuse. You know,
It
like,
all
it can
boils
be-
down to coin.
Yeah, it could be good one year, and then someone else could just totally take advantage of it. And
No, facts.
Inappropriate way.
It's all gonna boil down to two sides of the same coin. Two different forms of America and people's opinions that are fighting a civil war in a sense. The rich corporate people that care about greeding their pockets versus the people that make a decent living and are just trying to survive in this world. It's two sides of the same coin every time. Do I think the world will change? Maybe one day everybody will realize that they're still fighting. They're still the
No, it
same.
is changing. Every idea we come across and talk about, it's existed.
Yeah, 100%.
So what we're seeing now is, I don't know how much influence, I can't say this like black and white, but we are essentially living in utopia because this is the best version of now. Like everything that we've worked as a group of humankind is up to this point now. And if I look at it now, life is actually fantastic.
No, 100%.
We can get anything from this little box. Like try to explain a phone to a caveman or someone from a different era. This is magic.
We're able to get everything in one
This
touch
is
of a
magic.
button, cuz.
And this is a very nice time to live. And when we talk about, yeah, I mean, with AI and too now, we're going to see this.
I wanted to ask you that because as beautiful as technology and technological advancement are, critical thinking is on life support.
Face.
We really don't have to utilize.
Is it though? When we talk about the new generation, how we're talking about their capability of their thought processes, right?
Okay.
But in reality, they're thinking 10 times faster than you. Because they've lived in a world where they're getting 10 times the amount of information and able to process it, they're thinking that much faster than you. So to say that they're not, yes, there's a lot more distractions and they might not have learned the discipline to like differentiate like what's good, what's bad, but they're actually thinking way faster than us. And to limit because they said that about us for the internet. They're always going to say that. The generation before is always going to say that thing about the next.
Yes.
But with the advancements in technology, it actually advances our critical thinking. But of course, the distractions are way more. So a lot of people are distracted at the moment, and I think that's where it comes to good leaders and community members we could make a Wakanda. Why wouldn't we be able to? If we all put our minds together to actually not get distracted and stay focused on bettering our health, bettering our medicine, bettering our schools, educations, all of these, we could make we could make an amazing society, but that's all to say, like, we already are doing that. Not to say that we're already there, but like, I like to believe that there's always like 51% of good people, that there will always be more people trying to do good and advance the world than the people that are doing negative and trying to take advantage. That it will always progress in the good.